So welcome to another weekly edit. A couple of weeks ago I went for the first time to Tregargus Woods, not a place that I've been to before. I think it's also referred to as the Hidden Valley. Car was in for a service and I thought, well, where can I go for a little wander? And this place happened to be sort of a 10-minute walk around the corner, which was really handy. Only took my little, what I affectionately call my little Lumix Micro Four Thirds camera, so it was kind of a scouting mission. Didn't take any filters or anything. Kind of wish I did have, because it was beautiful. I need to go back sometime. So we're going to focus stack a shot today in Photoshop, but one of the challenges I had, if you show you the images now, so this image here, I wanted kind of that, I do quite like the milky water effect. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I do like it. But in order to achieve that, I had to go down to ISO 100, which is not the native ISO for the camera. And I also went up to f16, and that gave me sort of a third of a second. So the problem with that lens at f16 is it's just not sharp. There's too much diffraction going on. If we zoom into 100%, you can just see, yeah, it's just not sharp. I was focusing on the foreground, and yeah, it's just not particularly great. So to get around that, I've done a series of shots focused at ISO 200, which is the native ISO of the camera, at f8, which I know is sharp for the camera. But then, by doing that, I'm then shooting at 1/25 of a second, which doesn't give me the effect I want on the water. So what I'm going to do is focus stack the shots, but then use the water from this shot and mask that in. Now it doesn't matter that the water's soft, because that's the kind of look that I'm going for. That's the plan anyway. So it's these 4 shots here that I want to focus stack. So this first one I've sort of focused right in the foreground. Here I've focused a little bit further in on the foreground. Then this one here, kind of the water area, and this edge here, and then the last one would be basically the background. So if we zoom in, we're sharp in the foreground on this one, then it starts to go off a little bit. But if we flip to this one, we've got sharpness here. And if we flip to the third one, we've got sharpness in the midground. And then on the last one, we've got sharpness in the background. And by combining all of those, we'll have front to back sharpness. So what I'm going to do is, on all of the images, I'm going to apply lens corrections, which they are applied already by default, which is handy. And then on these 4, on all of them, I'm going to open them up into Photoshop. Now, I don't want to stack the first shot, so my first file, which is image number 35 from that particular shoot, is the one that I just want the water from. So 36, 37, 38 and 39, they're the ones that I want to stack. So if I go on to 36, what we're going to do is go to File, Scripts, and I want to load the files into a stack. And what I'm going to do is add open files, but we don't want that first one, number 35, so I'm just going to remove that. So what we're doing here is we've got all 4 files. I'm going to ask Photoshop to attempt to automatically align the images. There will be, although we're shooting off a tripod, there is going to be some slight movement between the shots because I was manually moving my focus point. So I was touching the camera in order to focus. So there will be some slight movement. So I want Photoshop to align them for me. So I'll click OK. That's loading a new file, this untitled one here, but it's loaded all of my layers in. What I'm going to do is click on the first one, hold Shift down, click on the last one, select all of my layers, and just for double measure, if you like, I'm going to auto align the layers again, just in case it didn't get it 100% right. And you can see it did slightly shift then, so hopefully they're all nicely aligned. With the layers still selected, I'm going to go back into Edit, I'm going to go to auto blend layers, and it's kind of automatic. Photoshop's already kind of automatically identified what I'm trying to do. It's gone to stack images. It's looked at them and gone, well, I'm not seeing, movement in terms of I need to stack it as a panorama. It's gone, oh, they all look like the same scene, so you must be asking me to stack them. Seamless tones and colours. So if the light did kind of change at all, which it didn't, luckily I had kind of overcast conditions, which was kind of ideal for this. If there was any subtle changes in light, it will try and even those out in the process. If in the stacking process you end up with areas that are just transparent, like background layer, it will try and content aware fill those areas, but I'm not worried about those. So I'm just going to click OK, and it's now going to blend it. Basically, it's going to look for the sharp areas in each layer and mask those together, and we can see that here down the side. With these masks here, we can see it's only taking sharp areas from each image, but the overall result now, if I zoom into 100%, is we've got front to back sharpness. There'll be little areas like this where these leaves have moved. That's I didn't want to shoot at even faster shutter speeds to try and freeze some of the vegetation. Maybe I should have done on these shots, but that's hindsight. It was relatively still at the time, but you can see from front to back we've got sharpness now throughout the shot, so that's done the job. So now I'm just going to flatten those layers, Command Option Shift E to combine them all into one layer. Now I'm going to bring in that one that was F16 a little bit soft, just for my water. So if I go Command A to select all, Command C to copy, and I'll go back to my untitled one, my new one, Command V to paste. I will need to align these again, so take that first layer. This is my not sharp one, F16, that I want for the water. If I turn that visibility off, underneath we've got our stacked version. Turn that layer back on. Let's hold Shift down. If I click on that one that's labelled layer 1, that's selecting both layers. If I go back up to Edit and Auto Align Layers, just going to attempt to align those two layers. So now if I turn layer 2 off, hopefully there's a tiny bit of movement, but overall the water's in the right place, which is what we want. So now I'm just going to take a mask down here, click on the mask icon, and if I Command I to invert the mask to give me a black mask, then basically I'm seeing my stacked version below. If I press B for a brush, got a nice soft brush, 0% hardness, my opacity is at 100%. And now, across the water, well, make sure I'm on white, so press X to make sure my brush is on white. I can just mask those areas to bring my water through. Like that. Won't be too fussy at this stage, because what I'll do is I'll zoom in, and if I've been a bit overzealous on areas, I'll just invert my brush and go over them. So that's very roughly. So if I turn that layer off, you can see still got nice sharpness in the foreground, background, but we've just smoothed that water out. If I just zoom in, if there's any areas that I think that I've just gone over that I shouldn't have done, I can just press X to invert my brush back to black. And maybe so some of these rock areas, if I want to bring some sharpness back, I can just brush over and reveal those areas back on the mask. Even this rock here, bring a bit of texture into it. And because it's a mask, if I get a bit overzealous with the black brush, I just go back to white. like I have there, I'll just go back to white on there and put it back. So anything that's kind of solid, that's land, is basically I'm looking to be sharp. So where I've just, you know, that rough pass that I did first, you know, I've covered some of these areas. So we just make sure, there we go, like that. So zoom back out, so there we go. But we've got front to back sharpness now. Going to flatten those layers again. Now it's just a case of editing the image how you want. Yeah, I'll show you the finished product, but I just wanted to show you the idea of stacking it, bringing in that different exposure. You know, it's just a good way of working around it if you haven't got filters. Or you know, even if it's not just trying to smooth the water, you know, if you want that front to back sharpness in your landscape shots, and you can't achieve it with hyperfocal distance, then sometimes it is necessary to stack, especially when you're getting very close to your subject, like I have here. These plants in the foreground were very close to the lens. So yeah, that's a bit of focus stacking in Photoshop. As usual, I'll put the before and after up, and till next time, look after yourselves, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.